Hey guys, so what is going on? It's Coverage here and welcome to a video. Now this is a different video. I said in the cover that I'm literally about to upload right now that after the cover we just did to Amnesia by 5 Seconds of Summer that we were going to explain a story because like about a month ago, literally a day before my birthday. Actually, you know what? Let me check. I can actually check. Alright guys, so I just checked. The start of September, the day before September, August 31st, we went to Swedish Cabin, and me, Azim, and his brother, Aaron, who you've seen on the channel before. He's done a guest solo, actually. You guys should, actually no, he doesn't, you guys have not seen him actually, he's on the old channel. But, we went there and we wanted to go swimming. Well, me and Aaron, we didn't really plan on going swimming, but we planned on swimming, but in a shallow area. So, once we were out of the shallow area, it's like maybe like 8 feet deep in water. Now, you guys might not think that's not that deep, but if you lose control or start sinking or panic in the water at 8 feet, if you can't stand, you can die really easily. So, what had happened was, I decided to jump into the water. I wanted to jump into the water because I told everyone, I said I'm gonna jump into the water. They're like, nigga, you crazy. I was like, I'm gonna jump into the water. So I ran and I jumped into the water, and that was all cool and fine. Me and Aaron had went to Swedish Cabin before without Azim, and I had taught him how to jump into the water, and I was in the water to catch him and everything. So he wasn't scared when he saw me jump into the water. So he did it as well. So we were talking about Azim doing it, but then we were like, nah, Azim shouldn't do it. But then he was thinking, he was like, nah, fuck it, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give you my perspective.
Yeah, I want him to tell you afterwards.
So they in the water and shit, now that Charlie's like, you gonna jump in, bruh? And everyone's like, nah, Azim's not gonna do it.
He can't swim.
I'm thinking to myself, Aaron can swim a little bit, all he can't do is tread, and Charlie can swim. So worst case scenario, they got my back.
I'm a great swimmer, by the way. Somebody at the Y.
What they did was step like 3 feet back, run and jump. I think Charlie did a little more than that. I stepped back all the way to his tree, like 10 feet back, and did a track run and start, and flew over them.
Yeah, he did.
Now, when I first hit the water, it was fucking fine. I came up, I seen Aaron, I seen fucking Charlie. I'm like, the water is fucking great. But it had been so long since I had went fucking swimming, and I never really fucking completed learning how to fucking swim, that I was moving my arms, but I wasn't moving my legs. So when I slipped under the water, I'm like, well, fuck, this is it.
You just started to panic and started to kick your legs.
I didn't start fucking sinking. I didn't start fucking panicking yet. At first, that's why I slipped under the water. If I just started kicking, I'd fucking did it. Yeah. But fucking, I slipped under the water.
No, I mean, you started kicking, like, normally you have to kick in a controllable way. Yeah. Otherwise, you'll fall.
But when I slipped under the water, I'm like, well, fuck it, this is it. And fucking, then I was fucking thinking to myself, Aaron was asking me on the way to fucking Charlie's, what happens after you die? So I'm thinking to myself, well, I guess I'm about to fucking find out. And then I start getting angry. I'm like, fucking, nah, I can't let it fucking end here. And I started trying to fucking fight. Now I'm gonna let Charlie take over.
Alright, so once, I'm gonna tell you my perspective once he jumped into the water. So once he jumped into the water, what he said was true. He literally jumped all the way over to us. I turned around and he was maybe like half a foot behind me. So I swam over to him and he started sinking, and he told me he didn't really know where he was when he got up. He couldn't see because his eyes were, you know, fucking blurry and shit, and he wasn't stable, so he was sinking while his eyes were blurry, so he just didn't know where he was. So he started to panic. So he started flailing around in the air and everything, and I was actually holding Aaron up where we were already. He was swimming a little bit, but I also had to get Azim. So I went over to Azim and I tried grabbing him and shit, but he was flailing so much. And like I said, guys, Aaron, it was so easy with Aaron. It was so easy to, when he jumped into the water, to get over to him and lead him back to safety because he kind of knew how to tread a little bit and everything like that. Aaron couldn't do anything, actually. Aaron got scared pretty quick into the whole drowning situation. He went back to the shore and everything. So I was just sitting there. I was trying to help Azim. I told him calm down. Aaron was trying to calm him down over in the shore and shit. I tell him to calm down, calm down, calm down. This was the scariest point of the story, guys. Like, I'm losing my strength and shit, so I go back to try and get some strength up, to try and just tread a little bit, try and get some strength back. And I see Azim fucking fucking fall. Like I go back to Aaron, and Aaron looks at me, and I look at Aaron, and I'm scared as fuck at this point. I tell Aaron, I'm like, yo, get the fuck in there. And he's like, I can't. So I'm like, I understood that because he's his brother and shit. So I jumped. I had no breath anyway, but I still jumped back into the water to go get Azim because he literally lost consciousness and started to sink under the water. So I jumped back in, and I literally was under the water. And I don't know how this happened, guys. I got him back up, and he regained consciousness, and he was fighting and shit. And he was actually swimming for a little bit. If he was at that point, if he was able to stop panicking, he probably would have been able to get himself to shore. And he told me that too, but he realized that. But after the situation happened, but after that happened, I literally lost all my strength as well. I literally started sinking under the water, and I thought I was gonna fucking die, and I was so fucking scared. So what I did was, I don't know how it happened, guys. I believe God helped me do this for real. I didn't believe in God until this literally happened. Well, I did, but I lost belief in him, and then I started believing in him again. I started sinking, and I was like, bro, I have a fucking child. I was just talking to fucking Brie about fucking my child. I was like, this can't fucking happen. So I started getting flashbacks of my life and shit. So I was on a rock. I could actually stand at one point. I told Azim to calm down. I was like, hold up, bro, I can stand. Hold up. I can hold you. And he just kept flailing. So I was out of options at this point. I was like, I just gotta fucking.
Alright, hold on. We're gonna backtrack before you go any further. So basically, we was talking about when I was like just limp in the water. That was around like the 4th time. They had left and came back to get me. And like he was saying, I was panicking so much, I was just throwing my arms around. I was flailing because when you're drowning, the only direction you're looking is up. So you can't really see much. My eyes were pretty blurry, and I was holding my breath, and I was being deprived of oxygen. So while I was panicking, I also couldn't process shit. So every time, at first, when they'd come grab me, I just tried to pull them down, not thinking
he really
me
was
pulling them into the water, because I was trying to pull myself up, not thinking me pulling myself up is pulling them down.
Yeah.
And then after a while, I couldn't really sense where they were, so I wait for them to touch me, and I just hold on. And apparently they were moving me, but I think I was blacking in and out during it.
Yeah, he was.
And because I didn't feel myself being moved, I felt I was static. And around the time where I went limp, it was around like the 3rd time they had left. And every time they left, it wasn't like I blamed them for leaving me. I was like, I knew they had to get their air. And this was around the last time I was running out of energy. Around the 3rd try, I went underwater for about 30 seconds because I'm like, if I go limp here, I can get some energy back to fight for a little bit more. So when I came back up, and the 4th time they left me, Charlie came back.
Yo, wait, hold up. Before we keep going, that is smart as shit. I didn't think about that. You may have been thinking smartly. Like your human instincts may have instantly made you go limp just so you can regain a little bit of energy to get back.
Because we were well beyond our limits. This happened in 5 minutes, but I was holding my breath for 1 minute and 35 seconds. This was crazy. But fucking, I come back up, and Charlie comes to get me for the 4th time, and I started wailing. I think I hit him, and he had to go back because he was losing strength too. Like I said, we were well beyond our limits. We were already exhausted. This was just the adrenaline. So fucking, then I'm like, okay, I don't got any more strength, and I need air. So I open my mouth, and this is the only pain you feel in my fucking experience drowning, is when all that water rushes in, and it feels like somebody just hit you in the chest, and then your body just goes limp, and everything was going black, and I started sinking underwater. And then all of a sudden, Charlie has me up above water. And that one gust of oxygen, I was only above water for like maybe 3 or 4 seconds.
A couple seconds.
It's all it took.
He just came back and was fucking
to come
fighting.
back to life. I'm like, this is all we got left. If I stop now, it's over.
Yeah, bro. Listen, dog. At that point, when he started flailing again, he stopped again because he knew I got him up. He knew I was helping him, so he was just holding on to me and shit. So I had to try and stay up with 160 pounds or whatever on me and try and get him the fucking shore. So I moved him a little bit, and that's when I got on the rock, and he stopped flailing and shit. But I could not move anymore, and I knew Azim couldn't move. But I was on a rock. So what I did, I literally went down. I grabbed him by the middle of his fucking waist, and I fucking threw him apparently all the way to Aaron over by the shore, and he grabbed Azim's arm and pulled him to him. And he
actually hit Aaron.
Dude, when I got up, I had the amount of exhaustion I experienced that day is unlike anything ever. I could not move my arms. They literally, when I got to shore, I couldn't get out. Azim was panicking. Azim wanted to get out of the water as quick as possible.
Because I knew I had no strength left. Like, it was
taking, if you fell in or something?
Yeah, it was end game for me. So, Aaron got me to the fucking, the dirt, and I crawled over to the tree, and all I could do was lean back against this tree and try to breathe.
I literally couldn't get out of the water for 10 minutes. I was on my knees at the bank, just sitting there, because I couldn't get up, and Aaron was trying to get me up. I was like, nah, bro, I can't move. Just let me sit here for a minute. And I threw up after that day, too. I threw up after that.
The walk home was a pain in the ass.
The walk home was such a pain in the ass.
My chest hurt for like 3 days after that.
I had to stop like 3 or 4 fucking times while walking home.
We had to take breaks.
To fucking get home. My head hurt so fucking bad. Oh my god, guys. That, like, I'll be talking about that for fucking ever. Me and Azim bring it up a lot, but, like, for the first couple of days and everything, it was traumatizing and everything, but nowadays we don't give a fuck. We go back into the water. We don't care. But, yeah. And also another thing I want to point out is that that's the end of the story. When we got back home and everything, I had to comfort Aaron because the nigga started crying because he thought he failed to do anything, because he really didn't do anything, and he thought he failed as a friend or a brother or whatever the fuck. He started crying, so I was like, bro, get up. I was like, I'm gonna give you a hug. I was like, bro, I know you were scared to death right there. I know you couldn't do anything. I was like, you don't gotta worry about it. You're fine. Don't worry about it.
I was kind of being an asshole at that point, trying to ease the tension. As soon as I got out, I fucking seen Aaron. I'm like, I remembered I had coins in my back pocket, change. I'm like, my nigga, you think I dropped my change in there?
I didn't hear that part. I was just sitting there.
He looked so pissed off.
Alright guys, well, that's the story. We almost drowned. That's literally going to be the title of this video, and she covers almost drowned. So, like if you enjoyed, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video.
Join the notification squad.
The notification squad.
Peace.